welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you on a Saturday. Talking what? Real estate. So excited. Did I say I'm excited? Man, I'm pumped up. Great show. And better than yet, July is moving at rapid pace. So I've got a good show talking about a lot of different things, but I wanted to talk about with the market, should we rent or should I buy? That's a hot topic in today's market with interest rates rising, so much going on in the market. Hey, a lot of people are saying, Ryan, maybe I should just pull my house off the market or maybe I should rent. We'll talk about that and so much more in the show. I've got some congrats. I've got some new listings and a lot of things going on. But before we start the show, market is adjusting a little bit. Everybody's wanting to know, well, Ryan, if I sold my house in spring, what can I get now? Or maybe I missed the mark. Maybe I should have done these things quicker. And Ryan, I was working on my house as hard as I could, but we just couldn't get it together. I said, no worries. You do the best that you can. But you're thinking about selling maybe this year or maybe even carrying to next year. You don't know where to start. But you're not ready for Ryan or an agent to come out and talk to you. You just want your number of your home. We've got a really cool feature. It's brand new and it's taking off. And a lot of our clients and potential clients are taking advantage of our text feature. So you guys are in the car or you're on social media, make sure you grab a pen. So we have a text feature. You're going to text this number. It's easy. And we'll get your home's value in today's market. And it's such a valuable tool. We'll give it to you instantly. Hey, if you're in the car listening, you'll get a response today. You don't have to wait till Monday. And we'll give you an idea of exactly what your home is worth. Free, no obligation, something that we're providing to everybody out in the East Tennessee market. And a lot of people have really liked our new feature and helped a lot of people. Because the process in selling a home in today's market, you got to see where the market is. You got to see what you're going to sell your home in today. In today's market, again, it's pricing, making sure we have the right price for today's market. And then you need the right agent in the team to help you market that to get the most money. All right, got your pen. Keep you waiting. That number is 865-290-2290. All right, repeat it one more time. 865-290-2290. We'll give you our home evaluation free, and we'll text it right to your phone. All right, we're getting back into the show. And the show talks about renting. And we did an article a couple weeks ago about East Tennessee, what the rental market has done in affordable housing, and how a one-bedroom home across East Tennessee as a whole is averaging $1,300 a month. I got choked up even thinking about that. $1,300 a month for a one-bedroom. And if you've been watching online or looking at different sites, you may find that the rental market is booming. As a lot with the housing market, inventory is at an all-time low, and rentals are worse. Very hard to find rentals. We've got a couple right now looking in the Powell market, looking to change schools as we transition to the new school year, and it's very difficult. So thinking about buying or selling with the interest rates, why we want to do this show is why we need to weigh both options. There's a time that you may want to rent, put your home and say, hey, I'm going to rent for a while, and we'll talk about that. And then do we go forward in today's market, even though the rates are a little bit elevated, but still low for an all-time high? Do we go ahead and purchase with all the news and everything that's going on in the economy, or do we pause? Those are some good things that we'll talk about. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. We love you guys. Appreciate you tuning in and the support. As you know, Best of Knoxville is voting. So before we get going into the show, we appreciate your support. And it's on my website at ryancoleman.org. Just vote Best Real Estate Agent. And then, of course, our company, Best Company for Real Estate Company. Voting ends on the 28th. So anything you could do to vote us, we appreciate it. We work hard over here, and I think we've been running 4 or 5 years in the running, so we appreciate to keep that streak going. Thank you guys so much. All right. So a lot going on. Should I rent the property? Should I buy a home, Ryan? I'm unsure. I'm on the sidelines. I'm just not sure. And those are valid questions. Is it better to rent or buy? My good friend Dave Ramsey talks about that in one of his articles, and I thought it was just a good opportunity that we could transition into our show. You know, the great thing about owning your own home, it's your home. You know, there's a lot of pride of ownership. There's nothing like when you walk up to your front door or pull in your garage and you say, you know what? That's my home. Go in the backyard, you got your fur babies, kids in the back, and you've got a space for them, and there's a sense of accomplishment. It's called the American dream. And there's a lot that goes into owning a home, but there's a lot of reward from doing that. So a lot of that's a personal decision. We're going to talk about the numbers and does it make sense and all that stuff. But a lot of people really don't understand that part of our business, we sell to a lot of consumers across the country, some here locally and a lot coming from out of states in the last couple of years. And marketing, the number one thing for selling a single family home, that the most logical buyer is, a homeowner, a couple. Maybe it's their first home. Maybe you're downsizing, or maybe, it's a family that needs more space, that they've had some more kids and they need more room. No matter what couple or buyer it may be, when we're buying that single family home, that's a owner occupied home, there's an emotional thing that goes to it. When we bought our first home, it was big. This is where my daughter was born. She was itty bitty. And then of course my son was born there in that house, and we've got memories and things like that. And so there's a lot of things that go into looking for that property. It was close to certain schools, it needs to be close to our work. Sometimes in today's economy, do you want to be a little bit out in the outskirts called the boonies, or do you want to be close to Turkey Creek or to your Walmart or your Kroger, whatever it may be? So those are things that kind of come into play. But the emotional part of that is why homeownership is so strong, and a lot of people encourage that. A lot of programs across the country, lenders and loan types have made homeownership so affordable and more achievable over the past couple of years. With interest rates increasing some, a lot of people in the news or people in the market as a whole are considering possibly not selling or purchasing. That domino effect. I would just say, look at where we're at in the market today, that the product of home ownership is one of the best things that you can do for your personal self and your family's development on wealth. We know we watched real estate for over the years, last 20, 25 years, real estate has appreciated, except during the 08 market or 09 market. So it's one of the things that if you don't own a home, it was one of the best things we did. And before I was married, it was one of the best things as a single guy before I ever did. Renting has an option as well. But we go into that. And of course, when you purchase, guys, there's always some of that cost with home ownership. So when you own, there's some maintenance issues that go in. So you got to be prepared. And most importantly, before you start your purchase or whatever range that you're purchasing, don't forget your budget. Budget is key, keeping your housing payment where you need to be. That's affordability. With the market that has been on an all-time boom last couple of years, everybody keeps things keep going up, and it's easy to push your budget. I think we're seeing a lot of things now in the last couple of months that we need to really look at that budget, and should be the number one factor whether deciding to purchase or maybe rent. Some of the ideas that come with home ownership are, guess what? Got to cut the grass, got to maintain it. Then you have to decorate it and all those different things. But a lot of those things, depending on where you're at in your journey, could be a now deal, or could be a future deal. A lot of the properties, we'd love to have the custom kitchen cabinets and the super fancy quartz or granite countertops, or maybe we want to do something special with the a fourth bedroom. But is that necessary in today's market to do that to get you in your home? A lot of us, we have our wish list, and when we help buyers across the country, when you buy your home, you want to draw the big line down the paper, okay? And you get your pros and your cons. It's the easiest way to kind of develop a process of whether I should go forward or not. And if you look on the house has so many pros, some of the negatives may be those updates or things that you want to do to the property, but it doesn't have to be done right away. Those could be projects, could be DIY projects, could be something that you do with your spouse. It can help you renovate the property and be a family thing. So one of the most small deal, don't laugh. I mean, this is a really small deal, but we developed a patio in the backyard. And when COVID hit, we worked on that. And I said, well, I always wanted to really have, a place for the kids, a swing set, and have our basketball goal and everything set up and fenced. And so just the other day, we were out in the patio and it's finished, but a couple things are still lingering. Just looking at that accomplishment together with your spouse and all that you did there to create that kind of backyard space was pretty rewarding. So don't always have to hire everything out. You can do those things yourself. You can come together as a family. Kind of be memories there. Kind of cool stuff. Remember, you have some tax advantages about purchasing in today's market. With the tax laws constantly changing, home ownership gives you one of the best advantages to depreciate or write off certain things depending on what asset that you're buying. We talk about opportunities to renovate your house and so many more. And of course, privacy. We're coming on the second half of the show. Stay with us. We got so much more. I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, ma'am.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown
He
Realty.
says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taking too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, we're back at it. Thank you for staying with us. We're talking about, should I buy in today's market or should I rent? That's a possibility. And with the economy changing, it's a valid question. Get a lot of that in the market, and that's what we're talking about. So before we get too far in our show, second half, again, thank you guys for staying with us. Let's see. What should we do? Should we do the vol update or should we wait? Let's do the vol update. All right, let's go through that because a lot of vol news going on in the vol world, vol nation. All right, here we go. Congrats to Drew Gilbert being drafted by the Houston Astros. Congrats, Jordan Beck, Colorado Rockies, Blade Tidwell, New York Mets, Cortland Lawson, Washington Nationals, Mark McCullen, Chicago White Sox, Seth Stevenson, pronouncing that right, round 7, Detroit Tigers, and Jorel Ortega, Twins. And don't forget Will Marbury, Arizona Diamondbacks, and Ben Joyce, Los Angeles and Angels. And then we got the Washington National with Trey Lipscomb. That's the vol update. Oh, before we finish, don't forget our football team, which is weeks away. We're saying we've got one more hurdle for Brew McCoy and should be looking forward to him to take the field. Our Vols, our men are going to have an exciting season this year. And that is our fall update for the moment. All right, back to the show. So much going on. If you're following us, as you guys know, we're a proud sponsor of the Vols. Everything Vol. Orange. Couldn't wear my orange today, but we got our tee in supporting the team. And it's going to be an exciting season all throughout men's sports and women's athletics. Our men football team is coming up right around the corner. We've got some exciting things. So if you guys are following us on social media, make sure you like our channel and subscribe. We got some cool giveaways and things we're going to be doing as we approach the season. We give away tickets every week to every home game. So all you got to do is like, subscribe, share it to a friend, man. That's easy. Know our channel. It's Ryan Coleman, Hometown Realty Facebook page, and we're everywhere else. You just find us there. And you entered to winner. So entered to win, right? So that looks good there. All right, let's get back into the show. My team wants me to tell you about our brand new system before we get into the show. It's our text campaign. Market's changing, Ryan. What's my house worth? I'm not ready for you to come out yet. Don't worry, just text me. That number, if you guys get a pen, 865-290-2290. That's 865-290-2290. We'll give you a home evaluation. So if you're in your car, you're at home, you're on the couch, no big deal. Just text me. I'm going to get that right back to you the same day if we can, and even on weekends. So that's a good place to start. When you're ready for me to come out, we'll come out and we'll talk more and further. Okay. So talking about why you should purchase a home versus maybe renting. And we say some of the pros. We know tax advantages are a plus. You have more privacy. Those memories that we were talking about in the first part of the show are everything. But there are some cons. There are some negative parts. It's not all sugar. There's a little spice there, right? Sometimes if you do a lot of traveling with your job and you're traveling and doing a lot of relocations, let's say maybe you're going out the country for a while, those things could be a negative. Purchasing may not be a good option for you. Maybe you've got more expenses that we don't know about, then that may be something that purchasing may not be the best option for you. Maybe if you're your own landlord, meaning you have other properties and purchasing maybe is more of a want to but a need to. Maybe that you don't want to incur more debt at this time. Maybe you want to be more conservative, maybe renting. Just an option. It is an option. We have several people that own investment properties and then they rent because the money's in the cash flow and they don't want to tie up a lot of their money in their personal residence. So they have assets that are producing investment income and then they're renting. You know, they're gone a lot. They travel, they're single, and they don't need to purchase. They don't want to maintain the yard. On the weekend, they're not doing yard work and things like that. They want to be out with friends and networking, and just renting makes more sense. A lot of our condos that we sell downtown, a lot of that makes sense for a lot of people that are traveling, second homes, things like that. What are some renting pros? You can move with ease. You know, you're tied into a lease, usually a 6 or 12-month lease. 12-month is very common around here. You don't have to pay for the maintenance. Sometimes your utilities are included. Sometimes they're not. Just depends on your lease. And usually it's cheaper in the short term. As a whole, as the real estate market has evolved over the last several years, what you would say on renting a property usually would be cheaper than purchasing. And once you add all the maintenance and cost, usually it always is. But in today's market with renting and costs going up super high, you have to evaluate those. So that's not always a given. Some of the cons that the rental rates will go up in time, and we're seeing those dramatically. We're seeing properties that we're raising, investors are raising. It's just what the market is responding. So when you're inquiring about a rental, make sure you look at if you're the likelihood of continuing another year. See if you can write that with an option to extend that year and negotiate with your landlord what that rate will be. So that's a good option. And then also see the availability for your landlord. Maybe they're going to be we just rented a unit down in Regas, great couple that moved in. And the landlord was more than likely going to do another second year. So that made them an option. If they're doing a custom build and their house is not ready and you're on a hard 12-month lease, well, guess what? That landlord is going to want you to have another 12 months, or obviously you can negotiate, but that's not a given. You know, when you secure that lease for 12 months, it's not a given that you could get another month or two to roll after that. A lot of landlords are projecting for years out, and they're securing new tenants. As the market changes on housing, the rental market is changing just as well. So keep that in mind. And then you have less opportunity as renting to do any kind of renovating, painting, anything like that. Those controlled by the landlord, and they may not allow you to do that. Let's see here. There's a lot of financing. We talked about different options to purchase. You know, in today's market, VA loans, FHA loans are very, very popular. They're insured by the government, and our VA loans for our great vets are 100% financing. A lot of times the closing costs can be included in the deal. FHA offers 3.5% down financing. So there's a lot of ways to enter the market. And with the lenders upping the loan limits across the country, you can get into more affordable housing. Some of the Knoxville market, I think it's the last time I looked was in the 400,000. So very, very reasonable. And conventionals have a lot of products that are 5 to 10% down. Yes, you may have to pay mortgage insurance, but you know, those are things that can go away after the year or basically once you're past 20%. And the way the Knoxville market has appreciated over the last year or so, you know, it's not long to gain equity if you make the right purchase. 3 reasons you shouldn't buy. You say, Ryan, you're a realtor. Why would you not tell me to buy? Because we always want to do what's best for you guys. You know, whether you're buying or selling, if it doesn't make sense, the thing about our company that makes us different in what we do and how we approach our philosophy is, listen, we want to see how we can help you. It's a journey, whether it's now, whether it's 6 months, 2 years from now. sometimes the option to sell or purchase just may not be the right option. And we're always going to recommend you on that. I mean, we always got your back. And I think that's important. You know, when I do business out there in the world, I always want people to shoot me straight, tell me what I should do, or at least give me their opinion and let me weigh the facts. And if that decision leads to me not doing something right now, I'm going to trust that person that was straightforward with me and guided me the right direction. You know, nobody wants to be pressured on such a big decision. We try to give you all the information and help you all throughout that process. Let's see. So if you get, you know, our friend Dave's always going to tell you this. You should never enter the market if you want to buy a property just because it's a good deal. You know, just because it's a good deal may not mean you have your budget right. You may not be financially sound. You're buying on emotion, that pressure, right? And then as we were talking about, Dave even talks more about it, was like, hey, Ryan, I don't want to be pressured. I don't want the used car salesman approach, right? I get it. You don't want to be pressured. You want to make a decision that's good for you and your family. Although in today's market, guys, you don't have all weekend to think about it. So there's a balance between making a good decision and pressured, or having the right advice that if you don't make an offer, you may lose that house because there's a lot of people that are looking at that same house. And then if you're planning to move in the next couple of years, it may just not make sense to recap commission, closing costs, repairs. And if the market did change, are you in a position that if the values go down on home values, are you going to be in a negative position? So you wouldn't want you to do that. Sometimes renting makes sense. If you're paying off debt, your job requires you to move around and you need some time. Maybe you need to rent and you're building that forever home. That's just a good opportunity to do that. So there's always a time and season. What we would say, grab a great agent that has your back in your corner that can guide you through that process. As a family, make a decision, see what makes sense. And then when in doubt, go out there and start looking at some properties and see something if it makes sense for you. If it doesn't feel right, then wait till it feels right. We appreciate you listening to us every week on Saturday, talking real estate. Easy number if you need it. It's 693-SOLD, or visit my website at ryancoleman.org. See you guys.